Hi Virgo, how are you doing today? This is Yetta Pearl and I welcome you to my channel. It's a pretty brand new channel, so I appreciate all your likes, and if you share this, I love that. And certainly if you subscribe, I'm really grateful for that. Help my channel grow, I appreciate that. So this is your angel reading for the second half of June 2021, so that is June 16th to 30th. This is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. Okay, let's get right to it here. So this is the unicorn cards. They wanted to come forward. So your guardian angels have been with you every moment since you came into existence. And so they never leave you. They have never been in human form. That means they have no ego, they have no judgment. So everything you do is absolutely perfect in their eyes. Now they are trying to guide you all the time. And so sometimes, we have trouble hearing the messages, or we don't recognize that the signs that which they are leaving for us, or things like that. And so that's why it's handy to have someone to read for you. Even though I'm a reader, I have difficulty, like most readers do, we have difficulty reading for self, right? So that's where I come in on your behalf, is so that you can receive your messages. Okay, so I only read the uprights, and that's my intention that I put into my cards, is that no matter which direction they come out, I read them only in the upright. Okay, one more card, angels, and then we'll get right into the messages. Okay, what is it that you want Virgo to know for the second half of June 2021? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's time to look after yourself. And I can see that some of you are. Some of you, you're doing it, but it's kind of half-hearted. So put a little bit more intention into that. It's not effort. That's a different thing. This is intention. This is, for example, while you're doing yoga, make sure that you're fully engaged in it while you're doing it. So your thoughts, your feelings, your intention to receive the benefit of it. Make sure that while you're doing it, you're fully engaged in it. If you find that your thoughts wander, just gently bring them back, so that you can be in the moment. And that's how you get the most benefit out of it. So, if you're, for example, maybe you have young kids at home, and so you've had to arrange childcare in order for you to go to your activity, or you had to make sure that, your spouse was home for the children or things like that. And so then you get to your activity and you find your thoughts just wandering all the time back to things you need to get done at home, or what you're going to do tomorrow with the children, or whatever it is. Your angels want you to leave them all behind for that moment. The kids are safe. They're fine. If they weren't, you wouldn't have left them with that person, presumably, right? So know that they're safe. Know that they are looked after. Yes, I'm quite sure they miss you, but that's okay. That's not a bad thing for a brief time, right? So throw yourself wholeheartedly, all your focus, all your attention, put into your activity, whether it's yoga or something else. Maybe it's a wine date with your best friend. Whatever it is, make sure that your attention is there instead of on something that maybe you're thinking you should have gotten finished earlier today or whatever. Say to yourself, I will not should on myself today. and then you can really feel the benefit that's happening in your body and in your attention, your perspective, your soul, right? That's how to actually get the benefit out of it. And so that goes right along with Mother Mary saying it's time to nurture yourself. It's the same thing. So even if you stay at home and there's somebody else around and you sneak off to go have a nap, how decadent is that? Right? Do it. Do it if you have the opportunity, or if you can create the opportunity, right? It's time for you to look after yourself a little bit. Even better if there's somebody to look after you for a bit, right? Somebody who says to you, here, I got you this pedicure or massage or whatever else, and I'll look after everything that you normally do while you go do that. How beautiful is that? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So let yourself receive it. Let yourself fully sink into it. No guilt whatsoever. Just not allowed, right? Yeah. Be there. Be there in that spot. Okay. So it looks like you're having a discussion with somebody and you are disagreeing. Does that resonate with you? Who comes to mind right away? It's either, okay, it's maybe not quite happened yet for some of you. But, most of us in our life, there's somebody that we know of who we have at different times had a disagreement with. Now, a disagreement does not mean that you're, knocked down, drag them out fighting. It just means you're having a discussion and this person thinks this and you think the other thing. That there's nothing wrong with that. It's all good. That broadens your horizons. You don't have to agree with that other person. But if you can strive to understand their point of view, where they're coming from, how come they formed that, all that stuff, have a real discussion where you are truly listening and where the other person hopefully is truly listening as you explain what you think and how you arrived at that. You may choose not to share your point of view, and that's totally fine too. The point to this here is for you to release judgment, right? Judgment does not serve you well. And that's whether it's coming towards you or whether you're the one doing the judging. It doesn't serve you well. So just try to see the other person's point of view. It doesn't mean you have to agree. You can be very friendly about the whole thing and just say, okay, well, I understand now what your point of view is, or I think I understand, maybe not completely because I'm not there in that spot, but that's fine. You're not trying to argue with the other person. You're not trying to convince them of your point of view or anything like that. Even if you think they're trying to convince you of their point of view, it's okay. You just need to step back from that a little bit and say, well, thanks for explaining that. And done. Finished. So your angels are saying that there might be a time when their point of view directly impacts, so for example, if this is your boss, right? And you don't get to, do how you want to do it or what your point of view dictates because they're the boss and it's theirs that matters. Still fine. Yes, you do have to follow what they're instructing for you to do because they're the one in charge of that. And so then it's up to you to just simply say, okay, that's what I'll do. Unless it's, very obviously wrong, you're not going to harm anybody else, right? Those kinds of things. We're talking about ordinary, normal garden variety, right? That's what we're talking about. You can keep your integrity intact and still notice and see the other person's point of view. And it's all good. Okay. So, your parents. Think about them right now. Feel all the love that you can possibly bring to you for your parents. Notice all the positive stuff. Notice how much you love them. Notice how much fun you've had with them. If you find it difficult to bring to mind fun things or good things in relation to your parents, please understand that they were doing their best. They maybe made more mistakes than not from your point of view, but they were trying their best, and they do love you as much as they can. So that's a really good point of view to have. So it's very similar actually to this, seeing the other person's point of view. You when it comes to your parents, you don't have to know where they were at. You don't have to know what they knew at the time, or you can just know for yourself that that was not the best move they could have made for you. But do know that they were doing their best in that moment. Same as you, if you're a parent already or you have been for a while, you're doing your best. And so I'm sure everybody who's been a parent for longer than a week is aware of at least one time when they've made a mistake, right? That doesn't change as your children get older, as you get older. That continues. We're still humans. We're still learning at whatever pace we're at, and we're doing our best, right? So the same applies for our parents back in the day. Yeah, let yourself love them. That's all. That's the bottom line. Let yourself love them. All forgiveness of yourself and of other people, every situation that exists in the world, every judgment, every negative situation, everything improves with some love thrown on it. Every single thing. The answer you're seeking is love. Let yourself just feel the love. Let it flow through you. It's a really warm, beautiful feeling. And so the more you can feel that for others, the more you can notice how it's coming toward you from everywhere. My gosh, you are so loved. Then the easier the world becomes, right? Then the obstacles become smaller, they shrink, and it's like they melt out of your way when you know how much love is in the situation. It's really cool how that happens. Your logical brain will be trying to tell you that this is too simple of an answer. But truly, this is the way it works. Your angels are like, no, just watch. When you take a situation that you have been finding difficult, and you throw a whole bunch of love at it, and appreciation, and gratitude, and you just, anything that maybe you found to be a chore before, if you slow down and appreciate every step and just let yourself have fun doing it, that is putting all the love in it. And then pretty soon it's not a chore anymore. And it sounds so simple, but oh my gosh, does it ever work? It's beautiful. So what is it that you've been thinking of lately that you want to start, but you haven't started yet? Maybe you think you don't know enough about it. Maybe it's, something quite new to you. Ask all the questions. Let yourself be really curious about it and find out what those things are. And so then once you know more about it, then you're more likely to actually start your thing. And it can be anything. In fact, it may not even be a project at all, they're showing me. So for some of you, you have, a project in mind. For some of you, you don't. But maybe you've been a little bored lately, a little stale, a little, lacking in motivation. Whatever it is you're thinking about in a moment, investigate, look it up, find out what more details there are about that subject, and just learn about it. Be curious, ask all the questions. It's really cool. It's quite a life changer, actually. Yeah, it's quite a life changer. So this is a great reading here so far. I'm enjoying this for you. So let's take one last card, one daily guidance card from the angels. Trustworthy guidance. So there's some idea that has come to you. Maybe somebody has suggested it, or it came to your mind, or something like that that you can do instead of what you're doing right now, or in addition to what you're doing right now, or as part of what you're doing right now. You can trust that guidance. That's a good idea. It's going to work. So, and you know, you'll have to figure it out along the way. You'll have to use this curiosity to figure out the steps or to know what it is. You'll have to throw a bunch of love at it to make it so that it's as easy as you could possibly can. And keep in mind to look after yourself while you're doing it. But definitely this is a great idea. And maybe your parents can help you with it. Maybe somebody else will have another point of view, which will make the whole thing go smoother. You see how everything here just relates each to itself, like to all of it, to make a whole thing, a whole idea, a whole completed picture for you. This is really, really cool. So your angels are saying that anything with you, this new thing that has come to you, anything that you need help with, just ask. So definitely ask your angels, but also ask the people around you. Ask for advice, ask for assistance, ask for ideas, all that stuff. Ask for, you know, who do they know that knows these things? All that stuff. It is trustworthy guidance for sure. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. Virgo, I will ask you to hang around for one more minute here while we send all this love to the whole rest of the world. Everybody needs that right now, including ourselves. So let's send some of that trustworthy guidance as well. And some healing and calm. And let's heal the whole world, and the soil and the water, and definitely all the people. Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you, Virgo. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.